Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Welcome everyone if you are returning, welcome everyone if you're new. Today we are asking, what can you expect in the second quarter of 2026? So April, May and June. At the time of doing these readings, we're already in April, and the energy is really fast-paced and fast-changing, which is why it seems a really good idea to check in on the next 3 months and really get a feel of how things are panning out and moving forwards. We're going to be doing very detailed readings today. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. I'm very humbled and honoured to be reading for you. Now, beautiful souls, we have 3 cards, 3 angels to choose from. And in a moment, if you're not sure, I'll show them to you in more detail. I'll put the timestamps in the description box below. I always list all the cards that I'm using as well through the readings. And I will also, in a moment, ask the universe. But I'll put that in a separate timestamp, a separate timestamp, so you can find that if you want the universe to choose a pile for you. Okay, so pile 1, let me show you the cards. Pile 1, we have the clear quartz angel with the card of the temple. This is the energy, the vibration of pile 1. Pile 2, we have the secret chamber. And do you know, I'm having a total memory block as to what this stone is, of this beautiful angel. Please, if you do know it, please put it in the comments. You guys are amazing. Some of you are such incredible stone keepers. So do let me know if you, I do know what it is, and yet I'm having a complete mental block. I wonder if there's some relevance to that. Anyway, we will explore this in the reading. This is the secret chamber, and this is your angel. Here we go. Very beautiful. So that is for pile 2. Pile 3. You have the amethyst angel, and this is the card of lay it on the altar. This is for pile 3. This is your angel. So, beautiful souls, I am going to leave the camera running for a few moments longer in case you want to just sit with the cards and the angels. In a moment, I'll also do the Ask the Universe part of the video. And if you need even longer, if you just want to sit with your own intuition, if you need even longer, then just press the pause button. Beautiful souls, I will see you either in the Ask the Universe part of the video or in the readings. Tons and tons of love, and thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to be connecting with you at this time of profound growth and evolution. Welcome, beautiful souls, to the part of the video where we ask the universe to find the right pile for you. So I'm on the homepage of my website. Let's ask, which pile or piles are recommended? We have piles 2 and 3 coming through today. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You have the card of Temple, the wisdom within, quieten external noise. You also have this clear quartz angel. Now, I think what we will do is we'll draw from the Akashic Tarot. Yes, we definitely want to do that. Your cards are flying through. We're going to draw from the Akashic Tarot, and we're going to draw cards to get an overview of the next quarter, of the next 3 months. And then I think what we'll do is like 3 little mini readings where we just check in with whatever is coming through, and we kind of get more detail as this period of time kind of moves through. What's most important, what comes through. Wow, you have the lightning bolt. 8 of forces. This is your first card. Now I am seeing this and this and this. Also, it's this one and this one. Okay, you've got the 2 of worlds. You've got the birth in reverse. You've got the 3 of forces, the 3 of scrolls, and the ascent card as well. Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to see if I can move the camera around a little bit to get all of these cards in as a top row for us. Okay, pile 1. Here we go. Temple, the wisdom within. Quieten external noise. In the next 3 months, what I feel I'm being shown is that your world is going to radically change. It's going to change course. I think you may not be moving in a different direction. You're either moving in a completely new direction, or you are going to be, it's either a completely new direction, or you are on track and something you're doing really, really takes off in a way that radically changes your world. So I think we're looking at really significant change. 2 worlds, literally, you are moving from one world to another. I think this is massively exciting, particularly because we have the ascent here. I feel like this is a really pivotal card for you, as is the temple. This is your significator card. Look at the light shining. And look at the light shining here. I think in the next 3 months you will achieve some sort of like a pinnacle in some way, shape or form. You will achieve the ascent to something. You're going to get to something. And I'm going to say I think you'll do it through genuine hard work, actually. This doesn't feel like a lottery win, and my apologies if you were deeply hoping for one. I'm not saying that you won't be lucky, but I do feel you have to feather your own nest. And I think this connects to something that you're birthing. And on the one hand, I don't think you can force it like a birth. You can't force something with the timing. But I do think it will unfold. It's going to grow. Like you have to nurture it here. There's something that you need to nurture. But I think it will genuinely radically change the shape of your world, your current circumstances. Let's say you are working on something, the wisdom within. You're downloading information, you're writing a book, you're doing whatever you are doing, whatever you're changing in your life. I actually do think you have a clear direction, interestingly enough. But what is interesting, the reason I say that you could find yourself, it's not exactly changing course, but let's say, for example, you're living in a particular environment, you're working your socks off, doing what you're doing, and then suddenly it takes off. Well, your entire circumstances can then change. What you're doing comes to fruition. It's birthed, it's created. So you're no longer in that process of lots and lots and lots of work, feeling like you're working overtime but not getting anything back. Now you are getting everything back. And so therefore the picture of your world changes. And this is what I'm actually seeing taking place. I think in many ways there is a clear direction. If you are somebody who doesn't have any direction, I think it will become very clear, and probably quite suddenly and quite soon. But when we are working on something, and if we're moving through a significant transition, it is really valuable to just look after you. The wisdom within, quiet external noise. I think this is also to do with focus, perhaps, as well. Feather your own nest. Don't be distracted by other people or other people's agendas. Don't be detracted from your purpose. I do think for most of you, the direction you're wanting to go in is already clear. let's kind of get a flavour of how April is moving through in this way. So we have the card of victim and abundance. Okay. Do you know, I think this is kind of to do with attitude. This is very interesting. Can you see in this card that we have two people? One person is, this man is really worrying. He's dropped a coin through like a drain. And he's really, really desperate and worried about how, he's worried about finances. Whereas this little girl here is really quite wise. And she works out how to get the coins. She's got a little, probably a magnet, I would imagine here. She works out, she's seen a possibility. She sees the coins and she's worked out how to get them. And it leads to a long-term investment, a long-term future. She has this beautiful house in the background. Can you see this? So it's like she, in a way, is wise, the wisdom within, quiet and external noise. Now, it seems to me there could be some quite, maybe some challenging circumstances around you in April. Maybe things pop in like out of the blue, and it can feel as though your progress is slowed down. But, my beautiful souls, let's check out your tarot cards for April. You have the Seven of Wands. Okay, yeah, this is about learning not to be affected by external changes. Don't be knocked off balance. Hence, you've got that beautiful card of being still. I think this is going to apply throughout the time. You have the Chariot. You have the Page of Wands as well. Yeah, don't lose sight of your passion. You also have the Nine of Swords, which is a card of worry, followed by the Page of Cups. Very interesting, you've got 3 pages. This is fascinating. I'm going to pop these, where shall we put these? I'll put them at the top here. I'm going to draw some runes as well for you. I think as April progresses, it may actually feel, you know, like it can feel sometimes like the universe isn't working with you. Where just as you feel like you're getting on top of something, something else comes in. I think you've got ideas. I think you know where you want to be going. I think you know what you want to do. I do think you will progress. But it's almost like you progress in spite of the circumstances that are around you. And I think there's a beautiful, beautiful energy of just keep your vision clear. The answers actually, if you're still and available to receive, be inventive. You know, rather than seeing yourself as a victim to circumstances, see yourself as being, like, be inventive. If you're still and you're not affected by the external busyness, the external noise, the interruptions, stuff that comes along, if you remain almost like separate from that, honestly, every time a challenge pops up, you will find a creative solution to it. And I think gradually you're going to, as you get through April, kind of feel, you'll notice the movement forwards. Your runes. You have the rune of Gateway. You have the rune of Othilla. Ah, this is making some sense. You have the rune of Othilla, which is the rune of separation, and the rune of movement. You have the rune of fertility, and you have Kano, the rune of openings. How interesting. Okay, so I can really see where this is going. I think in this position where we are right now in April, what is kind of happening is I think certain things are being removed from your world. And when they pop up, I think it will feel like a hindrance or an aggravation, however that comes. But actually, the purpose is for you to be able to be discerning. And the key here is rather than feeling like a victim to circumstances, because let's face it, every time you bring your head above water, you get going, you knuckle down, you're feeling good, something else pops up. And you think, when will there ever be time for me to, feather my own nest, fertilise the ground for my own deliverance kind of thing? Or just be resourceful rather than worrying about it or seeing yourself as being in a position of, gosh, come on, universe, kind of, could you give me a bit of backing here instead of, because it might feel a bit like sometimes like you're wading through treacle. Or I think there will be pockets where everything's flowing, to be quite honest, but I think there will also be pockets where there are interruptions. The purpose of the interruptions are to help to remove and release anything that actually is no longer relevant to where you are going. And remember, this is a period of a huge breakthrough for you. This is life-changing. This is it's like the landscape of your world will change due to success. So in a way, it's not appropriate to have certain things in your world that would either inhibit your progress or indeed not be appropriate to still have in your world when you are successful. This is the energy. So there'll be things to be saying goodbye to. But all of this is happening in order to make everything, so that everything in your world can gather momentum. Fertility, sometimes there are things as well that you might find you're having to complete things. There will be some changes, some tweaking, course correction. All of these are happening with a higher purpose of creating like an opening so you can really move forwards. And if you quieten the external noise, remove the worry or feeling like the world's against you or the universe isn't working with you, and recognize the universe is working with you to remove things that would otherwise not be appropriate or would otherwise be slowing you down or lagging your pace, is coming through. This is what I'm seeing here, pile one. How fascinating. You will honestly overcome anything. If you can get still, the right solution will come to you. I do think there will be more than one situation that you have to sort of process. But honestly, just keep setting your course, hold your intent of where you're going in mind. Just keep at it. You'll get there, most definitely. I think we should move on and look at May. I'm going to remove all of these runes, put them back in. Let's see what else we're shown. We'll keep the Akashic cards out. Keep your first cards out. I'm super loving this reading. If you're enjoying this, do please let me know in the comments. I love reading your comments, so I can't reply to them all, but I do read them. So please let me know if this is actually working for you. Gosh, this really obviously wants to come out, and I'm seeing these as well. We're looking at May. I'm also seeing this one. It's this one and this one. Okay, let's look at our little chakra oracle as well. We are asking for pile one about how this energy then moves forwards in May. Seeing this, this, and this. Okay, so you have isolation, enlightenment, and perseverance. Okay. Now, this is very interesting because this card actually asks you not to isolate yourself. Yes, perseverance and don't give up. For sure, things may not run entirely smoothly. There may be some hiccups. But I think when you get to May, it's going to be really important that you do actually balance yourself in May. That's what I feel is coming through. You have the Page of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician. Oh my goodness me. You have the Five of Swords, the Tower, and the Queen of Pentacles. Actually, I think I'm going to move those along and bring this card down because I think we can get all of those in. Okay, this is very interesting. Now, as we navigate through May, my beautiful pile one, I think there will be a significant turnaround. And with the Five of Swords, something comes to, there's a big turning point. You've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the Magician, you've got the Tower. I think this could be either a breakthrough moment, but I think there's quite a crucial decision to make. Maybe you need to not make that decision in isolation. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Let's ask your runes as well. Let's see what your runes are saying about this. I'm wondering about this. So you have the Rune of Defense. You have the Rune of Flow, Lagos. You have the Breakthrough. Yeah, okay, there will be a breakthrough moment. You have Isa. This is the Rune of Ice. It's also the Rune of Standstill. Sometimes it asks you to stand still. And then you have the Blank Rune, which is a rune of profound possibility. Okay, hence the Queen of Pentacles here in the Tower. I think in May there is a significant breakthrough moment. I think with the energy of April, you may have found yourself almost like in a little bit of a defensive position, perhaps because there are things that come along that feel as though they're slowing you down. I think something maybe completes. Possibly around mid-May, or maybe early on. I think there are signs and signals that come in early on in May. Decisions to be made, communications coming in that do bring you a real clarity. In many ways, I think they help you to persevere. Almost like if April was feeling like we've got perseverance. I might just ask for some more cards around this, just to get clear. With the card of isolation, this is kind of about having something and like this, the story of this. Maybe I'll read you the story, actually. I have the book. Let me find it for you. So this is isolation. It's the blue chakra, impatience, vanity, expansion, isolation. I might have to put another light on here. Here we go. Isolation, the legend. Sapphire is blue. Occasionally he gets invited somewhere, but inevitably he turns the invitation down. After all, what would he wear? He bought a tux once, just in case, but won't wear it because he might spill something on it. Besides, going out would alter his routine. He's tried to meet people, but he hasn't yet met anyone of his calibre. So Sapphire stays at home alone and remains quite blue. The inspiration: do not wait for the right time to live your life. You are on the verge of something big, but if you don't participate, it could pass you by. Okay. Personal inquiry. Sapphire does not know the difference between isolation and solitude. Do you? Key ideas: self-protection, making, again we have protection here, making excuses, over-preparing, never feeling ready to take action. The keywords are celebration, experiences and play. Okay, so I think there is, this is the decision here. There's an, this is really making sense now. Okay, I think in May there is a breakthrough moment. I think the breakthrough moment comes through potentially an invitation with the Page of Cups. And I think it could offer you a turning point. And this is really saying seize the moment. Don't miss it. You know, just when you feel like, you know, it would be an addition to something. Now, I think it could come in an interesting way because it may not come in the shape or form that you expect. So whereas you're in the zone of persevering, you know, in April, things pop up, they get in the way, you know, you keep going. And again, shifting away from that victim perspective to really, really recognizing that the world is unfolding for you. How amazing is that? Okay. But you know, moving through and beyond it. But I think you could be getting in a rhythm, and there's nothing wrong with you being really dedicated to your course. But I think you could get into a rhythm through April, which is wonderful, but the energy shifts in May, and I think you are invited to stand still, to step back, to take a breather, to be aware, again, quiet and external noise, to be aware of an opportunity when it's offered to you. Rather than let it pass you by and thinking you need to stay on track, if anything, I think the invitation offers you a breakthrough moment. It's quite magical. And yet with the Five of Swords, this is what I think this card is perhaps telling us, that it is the decision to do this rather than not to do it does create a breakthrough. It leads to fulfillment in some way, shape or form. It takes you to a space of possibility. I'm going to draw another chakra card. You don't want to miss this, really. Yeah, gratitude. You will love it. You will love, and look at the pregnancy here. This rune is all about like a pregnant pause. Stand still, a pause. Interestingly enough, what seems to be coming through here is that in May, an opportunity arises and you might perceive it. There's a lot of perception going on in your reading pile one. Like in April, perception of recognizing that if something comes along that seems to slow you down, it's just coming to as an aid to you. In May, the energy shifts. And what we see in May is something coming through that might feel as though it's taking you away from your course, but actually it's not. It's leading to something else. It's like when someone opens a doorway and then you step through that doorway, and then it would be like someone invites you to a party. You decide that you are, after all, going to go to that party, even though you had decided you were going to work that day. Stay on course. You go to the party, and while you're there, you meet the very person who you needed to meet to progress your work. For example, this is just an example of the energy. I think something almost magical happens. It might feel like there might be a reticence. You might feel like you should persevere at all costs. Actually, take some time out and follow through with something. It's almost, and I think it is something that could feel like it is counterproductive, but actually it's not. Because within that experience, the wheel turns, and that's part of the life-changing, radical change in direction. Look at the lightning coming through here. This is part of the lightning bolt. Honestly, it enables you to feather your own nest. It's super cool. Let's see what else we're shown. Let's move into June. What happens in June? What happens in June? How does this proceed? We know you're on the way up. These are very detailed readings. I love these readings. I love seeing the flow of energy through. I think it kind of, for me anyway, it really, really seems to work. Let me know. As I said, let me know in the comments if it works for you. And do come back and let me know as we progress through the next quarter. Do come back and let me know how things are going with you guys. You have cards flying through already. I think it's this one on the base. Yes, there we are. You have growth, self-worth, and discovery. Oh, wow. Okay. You also have, let's see, how can we do this? Growth, self-worth, and discovery. Let's put these up like we did last time. Growth, self-worth, discovery. You have the Hermit, the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. Oh, the Two of Wands. This is so lovely. Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. Wowza. Oh my goodness me, June really, really does bring a very, very, very exciting, it's that new beginning, it's that new chapter. You've got to the top of the mountain, and my goodness me, You are now in a space of opportunity. It's like the world is opening up for you. We've got 2 pages. It's a whole new chapter. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Gosh, Ace of Pentacles. I mean, this is magic. This is the point when it's almost as though you feel as though you get there in some way, shape or form. I think whereas you have been feeling almost as if growth had been like not exactly blocked in April, but you know, you'd have to, that was about shifting your perspective. But as you move into June after May, where almost something quite magical happens, you build on that breakthrough. You recognize, I think, it's like it restores your faith and your trust. It's like that sort of, gosh, manifestation really does work. Or gosh, spirit, the universe really is on my side. This is really beautiful. I think there's a feeling in June where whatever comes through, it becomes very clear to you that you were guided. And all of the things that were happening in April and May, that you had to kind of work through and process and be actively responsive to, in a way that quietened the noise and, you know, you responded appropriately. I think the growth and the self-value, the trust, the faith, that feeling of being guided, it comes to fruition. Let's check out your runes. You have the rune of strength. You have the rune of flow. You have the rune of partnership, a gibo or a gift, and you have the rune of the blank rune, the rune of the blank rune. Your perseverance and your capacity to stay on track pays off. I think in June things flow. I think you are, with the gift or partnership, you're in the right place at the right time, the right people, the right persons come into your life. This often does indicate a one-on-one connection. But whether it's partnership with the divine even, you move into a very different space of possibility. This is the landscape of your world changing. So it's interesting. I don't feel, looking at your reading, that this is kind of like you get to the end of June and now your world will change. I think it's in June that the landscape of your world changes. It's like you're on a different footing. You're here. And because you're here, you're on a different footing. You now start to make decisions. You can create the shape of your world, because you have a different level of resources, you have a different level of energy, you have a different level of support. I think June is the point when you reach your ascent, you're there. And I think it happens really early on. It's as though everything makes sense. The previous 2 months of April and May, all kind of, it's like they click into place. Everything starts to flow. Your perseverance was worthwhile. And I think literally it is like a renewed sense of faith and trust, belief in the divine, recognition of the bigger picture. It's like that shift between the two worlds. You arrive in the new world. And along with it, you arrive in the new world with an opportunity to, it's like a blank, not exactly a blank canvas, because you're on a foundation of what you've been building. But my goodness me, you are on solid ground at this point in time. And it is like a fresh, it's like a fresh start, because the world has expanded. You're at the top of your game here in some way. You've reached the summit. Once you get to the summit, it's like, where are you going next? What are you doing next? The whole landscape of your world changes. In June, you're there and you have the opportunity to be the master of those changes. Pile 1, this is so super exciting. Beautiful souls, keep me posted. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all the things that that you do that support the channel. Thank you so much for all of you who support the channel. And beautiful souls, if you want to make sure you never miss a reading, subscribe and press the little bell icon. And thank you, all of you who've been signing up to my tarot course and doing all the amazing extras that you do that mean that I can keep putting all of these readings into the world. I'm honoured to read with all of you and to be walking as part of your tarot journey. Tons of love. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Now, my beautiful souls, we have this beautiful angel, which I can't remember what the stone is. Thank you to any of you who are commenting and letting me know. I wonder with the secret chamber, potency, deep connection, treasure. Is there something that you're either going to discover or almost reclaim, like me not remembering? Is there something that you can reclaim? Something from deep within even. I mean, we have the entrance to what looks like a barrow or even a fogu possibly. Let's check in on this. I'm going to, because we're asking about the next quarter, April, May and June, I'm going to draw from the Akashic Tarot as an overview. I did this in pile 1, it worked really well. And then we'll do like a little mini reading for each of the months and look at what comes through and how that energy flows. So let's draw from the Akashic Tarot first. What is happening over the next quarter for you? I'm seeing this one. You have the sands of time. This is interesting. Gosh, you are going to be very empowered. Wow, talk about potency. My goodness me. The sands of time, the queen of forces, spring and autumn. And we have springtime above. We have the scribe in reverse and also caught in the ruins in reverse. I'm thrilled to see them in reverse, particularly this one. Okay. What this is showing us, I feel, my beautiful souls, as an overview, is that some sort of, it's almost like a karmic contract comes to an end. And you are able to exit a situation. I mean, this is empowerment. It's like this, you're able to either exit a situation or step into your own power. You're able to have the full force and deep connection of, it's like your own deep connection with spirit, with source, with energy, working in alignment with the universe. This feels for me like a really literally potent, powerful pocket of time for you. Very, very powerful, where you take an ownership of something. Feels very karmic with the sands of time. This card can indicate that you need to take an action. But this is empowered actions that we're seeing here. Empowered actions that complete things, finish things, stop stuff, that remove things that have held you back. Let's check out how this might be for, let's look at April and we'll just look at the energy. How is this panning out in April? I am seeing that one too. You have discovery, bittersweet and instinct. That is interesting. And let's see what else we have. Right, you've got the Fool. You have the Six of Swords. My goodness me, you do leave something behind here in April. It's almost like April is the beginning of, I want to say the beginning of the end of something. It's definitely a new beginning. You have the Six of Cups. Okay. And you have the Star. Oh, this is so sweet and so lovely. But there is a bittersweet edge to it. I think that you have followed your instincts on something, and I think you were really right to do so. I suspect this has already happened. And obviously, at the time of doing these readings, we are already in April. But I think you got yourself you've removed yourself out of a difficult situation in the nick of time. I think something will emerge. And if you haven't already done this, then I think this will be very, very imminent. I think you followed your instincts on something. I think something comes to light. And it is bittersweet because maybe there's something that you might have. I think you once had a commitment to something. And I think you chose, maybe you recognise that it was not all that it was cut out to be, or that it might become a little bit more complicated than it appeared on face value. I think you're going to be really, really, really glad that you trusted your instincts. This may well be around you at the moment, at the time of doing this reading. I think it involved you taking a leap and potentially exiting a situation. And it's one of those scenarios where you're left with this, like weighing it up, taking action, but feeling the impact of closing something. Let's check in with your runes. You have the blank rune. You have Isa. This is the rune of standstill or ice. You have gateway. You have Othella, yeah. And you have Nathis constraint. Okay, what these runes are really, for me, telling me is that they are confirming what I think I'm seeing here. And I thank you for the confirmation. I do feel that there may even be a situation that was been a bit underground, or something that you, I say couldn't remember, but something that was not apparent to you initially. I think you make a decision based on your instinct, and you were completely right. If you haven't done it already, I think you will do so. It did, I think, involve separating from something, or making a decision that you will engage in the process of separating from something. Emotionally, instinctively, it felt right to do so. I think you absolutely knew you almost had to, because if you'd remained, it would have trapped you. You might have been tied to something that would have been inappropriate. I think you spent a lot of time thinking about it, and if you haven't yet done it, you may well be thinking about it. Or you may even still be processing the residue of this. But honestly, what you have seen, understood, and the choice you made, your understanding, was completely right. And I think as you navigate through April, there'll be a kind of a process where you process the emotional residue of this and you kind of emerge. You move through what I would call the crossing of the T's, the dotting of the I's. It's like if you up sticks and move and you hadn't necessarily anticipated, because this can be connected with real property or a location. It might be like vacating a particular location, moving house, home, or job area, geography could be involved. But whatever it is, it's like you trusted your gut feeling, or you are trusting your gut feeling. Maybe you're still processing this. It was completely the right thing to do. And as you cross the T's, dot the I's, attend to the process of exiting. That's what's coming through in April. As you attend to the process and the processing of an exit or a move or a shift. And I think it took a lot of debate with yourself. I think you recognised that there was almost like no other alternative, actually. And I'm sorry that you felt as though you were in that position, but it was blocking your capacity to grow. So I think you've done this. You've done a lot of soul searching. And so if this is not making sense, this may not be the right reading for you, beautiful souls. I think you are either in the process of exiting, you've either exited and you're in the process of processing the exit, or you're in the process of arranging the exit. As I said, you've done it already, you're processing the outcome of it, all of these things. By the end of April, honestly, I think you will be in a really good place where you know through and through and through and through that this was the right course of action. How is this going to emerge? Let's look at May. Isn't it interesting? The rune of Nathis has just sort of jumped out the bag. I'm going to keep it there for May. I don't think it would have made itself so loudly, so loudly present if it wasn't relevant. What are we showing for May? Oh my goodness me, look, all these cards. Gosh, things do shift and move forwards for you in May, I think. Just looking at the amount of cards and energy. Seeing this one and this one and I think those two. We will draw more runes than just those. Okay. And another. Okay, my beautiful pile twos. You have expansion and growth. Yeah, this is absolutely super nice and gorgeous. I think you start to grow. You expand, you grow. Things that were holding you back cease to be holding you back. You have the sun. Wow. Okay, magic. You've got, oh, look at that, the Six of Wands. This is the card of success. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, a Joy of Joys. You've got the Justice card and the High Priestess. I think the level of success that comes to you in May, I think it's going to exceed your expectations, actually. You have the Star. You have the Five of Wands. You have the Four of Wands. And you have the Ace of Wands. Goodness me, this energy is mind-blowing. Okay, do you know everything you went through, the decision that you made, the constraints, the crossing the T's, the dotting the I's, the paying attention to the details, following your gut feeling, your gut instincts, all of these things talk about a period of empowerment. You will start to soar. It's like things that were holding you back aren't there anymore. It really, it's like the way is being cleared. Let's just check in on your runes. Wow. Oh, there's a token in with the runes. Look at this. I didn't even know that was in there. This is like a little fountain. I'm just going to bring that into your reading because it's shown up. You have a fountain. This is like a fountain that you have at a party where you celebrate. And look, what do we have here? A fountain. Isn't that amazing? It's going to flow. You've got the rune of strength. And you have the rune of breakthrough. Wow, wow. I think this will be bigger, better than you thought. I think it paid you. The perseverance, the crossing the T's, the dotting the I's, the trusting your instinct, honestly, it seriously pays off. It really, really does. Things that were stifling your growth are no longer in the way in May. And things really, really, you can rise. You know, instead of feeling like you're in like a competitive environment, it's like you can collaborate and work with people. Like the high vibration of the Five of Wands is a card of collaboration rather than competition. It's collaboration, working together, rather than, you know, where people support your growth, rather than competition where people are envious and put you down. This is a celebration. You are honestly on a pathway. It's like the pathway of gold. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it really is. Okay, wow, wow, wow. I think you're seen. I think success arrives. You're visibly seen. This is staggeringly exciting and really, really, really good. So May looks to be probably a month of action because nothing is holding you back. You've done all of that stuff that needed to be dealing with. It's the breakthrough. You can go from strength to strength. It's like there really is celebration in May for you, and I think that is just magic, absolutely magic. How does this emerge in June though? It's free flowing, it's gorgeous, it's happening, it's expanding. Let's find out about June. Wow. The energy of May just feels like there's nothing stopping you. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's put the runes back in. Let's draw some runes first. What happens in June? Well, you've got the breakthrough rune showing up immediately. Just shuffle your cards back in. find out about June. I almost want to say, are you going to ride on your success? Have a break? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, let's see what we are shown for June. First of all, you've got the breakthrough rune, so this is phenomenal. You also have the blank rune, which is really a space of possibility. Gosh, you've got the spiritual warrior, Tewaz. This is very decisive. This is taking action. You have the rune of stand still, ice, Isa. Oh, gosh, and you have Fehu. This is nourishment, possessions. This is also ambitions that are satisfied. You have grief and acceptance. That's interesting. Okay. Might find out more about that in a moment. May we kindly ask about June, please? You have the Strength card. You have the Seven of Wands, the Judgment card, the Four of Cups, the World, and the Chariot. We may draw some more cards for you, my beautiful pile twos. Do you know, with the breakthrough, even though, so May, it feels like nothing is stopping you, nothing's in your way. I wonder whether in June, it's almost as though, it's like maybe with the Seven, maybe your success, maybe it's like living with your success. Potency, deep connection, ambition satisfied. I wonder if you stand still and really review and accept something. This is really, really interesting energy. I'm wondering why you're grieving. What is the grieving about? May I kindly ask, what is the grieving about? The Lovers. This is about choices. I wonder, my beautiful souls, whether following your gut instinct, whether this is the month when you almost, I think you did the right thing and you knew you did the right thing. Whether this is, you're then free to move forwards. Nothing is holding you back. And maybe there's almost like dealing with the reality of that. Because there is a sadness when we move on from something. Initially, if it was restricting, there can just be a relief. A real gratitude that we trusted our gut feeling, trusted our intuition, and we moved forwards. And we did so with awareness, ultimately, and you stepped into your own empowerment. It's after that we need to process the emotional outcome of those choices. It's processing the consequences of those choices. Hence the Judgment card. Making decisions and then processing the outcome of them. I might just read to you from this card of acceptance as well, actually. This is the red. Oh, look, it's opened on grief. Let's read that one first. So the legend. Penelope meets Pickle, the puppy, when she is at college. They go through everything together. When the day comes much later for Mother Earth to call Pickle home, he dies in Penelope's arms. Her friends are hard on her, suggesting that she should just get over her pet's death. But Penelope knows she loved Pickle deeply and is simply in grief. Loving Pickle was worth every moment of sadness. When she is ready, she will love again. Okay, Penelope and Pickle remind us that what we reveal, we can heal. Okay, give yourself time, you will love again. If you honour your pain, it will change your life. We then have, where is the red chakra? Right at the start, acceptance. Cherry loves her work as a waitress, but feels that something is missing from her life. She has a boyfriend, and yet she senses that he is unfaithful. One day, a customer orders cherry pie. Cherry cuts a slice and sighs to a friend that her life is like that pie with a slice missing. Her friend remarks that maybe Cherry is a heart-shaped pie. Cherry's perspective changes. She leaves her boyfriend and later meets a man who makes her happy. Okay. A magical box of self-acceptance appears before you. Your unique qualities reside within. Open it. Reside within. Look at this chamber, the secret chamber. Open it. Are things simple now? Cheryl's heart invites you to see yourself as complete just as you are. Okay, I do think that is what we're seeing here. It's like you followed your gut instinct and you left something. In April, something wound up. In May, it's just that period when you exit something that you are relieved and there's nothing stopping you. You're on a roll. But then there comes a point when the emotions, the underlying emotions of sadness that something didn't work out, that you had thought you had made a commitment to, start to be processed. And I think that's the sort of the realization here. And there's always a bit of a double-edged sword. I think there's a reality to that. With the Seven of Swords. I suspect this is the real recognition of the impact. You may also actually discover more in June about the circumstance that was maybe you trusted your gut instinct and you followed your gut instinct and you were right. But I think you might find that more with the Seven of Swords is uncovered, that more things come to light. And in a way, it's a breakthrough, it's a light bulb. But there's a sadness. It's like, what if you were processing somebody who was acting behind the scenes and then more comes to light? And there's a real sadness about it. You made the right choice and you know you made the right choice. You completed something. I think in June, it's almost processing the emotional residue of the appropriateness of your empowerment and your decision where you followed your gut feeling. But and there's huge success here. You know that this is right, but there is that sadness, that edge of sadness when you, a bit like the cherry pie, the Cheryl, she accepts, there is an acceptance. She comes to terms with the fact that something wasn't right. She made that decision. She made that choice. There's sadness attached to it, but then something new comes in. And quite fast with the Chariot and the Lovers, of course. That's what we're being shown here. You followed through. You did the right thing. You made that right judgment call. And even though that has been quite difficult, I think then in June, not only do you process, of course, with ambition satisfied, not only do you process that decision, but I think then something new maybe will be coming in for you. Let me just check on that with the Chariot and the Lovers. You have the Queen of Wands, absolutely. Gosh, if any of you ended a connection or a relationship, look at the joyousness of this pair here. Got a pair of lions. Okay, both male lions, but nevertheless, removing gender. Yeah, you have the Death and transformation. Oh, and the Fool card. This is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, pile two. I think in June, it's like you're processing the emotions. You recognize that you made the right decision, but there is sadness about it. But then in comes someone or something that completely completes that process of grieving, because it's a magical new beginning. It's ambition satisfied. It's the thing that you walked away from. It's almost like the bigger, better version of it comes in. It's like a replacement almost. It comes in and it means you can let go. You can complete the transformation. Like this card, you can accept that it happened. It was truly heartbreaking when it did. But my goodness me, you're out the other side and now you are flourishing. If it was a betrayal of someone, then it's like it's replaced with something that is so much more amazing. If you let go of someone who was not loyal, then it means somebody who is loyal comes in. However this works, this is the outcome that's fulfilled. And I think that's why I was thinking, why do we have grief after this month in May when you're just flying? But actually, it's in May that we shift to the true outcome or the consequences of the actions that you took back in April, where you made that decision or that choice, you trusted your instinct and you followed through. And wow, this is the new beginning. This is the completion of that process. I think it happens quite quickly. I really do. I think it happens quite quickly. The energy is quite clear. It's quite decisive. And it's really such a confirmation that you made the right shout. You made the right call. Wow, gosh, pile 2. These readings are just amazing, blowing me away completely. Beautiful souls, I am sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so much for being here. If this is resonating with you, do give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. And beautiful souls, do keep me posted. Come back, let me know in the comments. It's wonderful when people come back and say, oh, by the way, this just happened and that just happened. It's just fabulous to hear about it. So thank you so, so much, all of you who comment and share your stories. Tons and tons of love, pile 2. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the amethyst angel. This is a master healing crystal. Lay it on the altar, hand it over, soften, surrender, forgive. Very, very interesting. Now, I'm going to be doing some cards from the Akashic Tarot just to start, like to get an overview of the next quarter. And then we're going to do almost like little individual readings for April, May and June, just to really see how the flow of energy is working for you. I'm seeing this one as well, and also this one. You have the summer and winter card with, this is the 5 of forces with the summer upright. You have the 8 of forces, the lightning bolt, wowza. The intricacies and industry card, 7 of scrolls, add some, and Archangel Raphael. Ooh, okay. This feels very productive. Proper productive. Like sort of, as if things could manifest quite quickly. Lay it on the altar, hand it over. Almost like you put it out into the universe, you ask, you trust, and you receive. I know that's a bit simplistic, but this is the kind of energy I feel I'm picking up on. Summer and winter. This is summer. This is harvest. Intricacies and industry. This is like building a cathedral. It's building something big. And being involved in the building and the planning and the making it happen. I wonder if there is healing involved as well in this period of time for you with Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael, the energy of Archangel Raphael, he does often come into our lives embodied in other human beings. So it could mean that there is somebody coming in who will support you in healing something, forgiving. But I feel like I want to say spirit and source are on your side. It does feel as though you've got the backing of the universe to build something, or even for some of you to rebuild something. Maybe. Hand it over. Trust the universe. What else are we shown? Let's ask about April. It feels productive. It feels fruitful. The next quarter. You have perception. You have miracle. And you have prayer. Ooh, okay. I'm going to draw some runes as well. Perception, miracle, prayer. Lay it on the altar. This is, I think, suggesting in April that you do shift your perspective on something here. You might change your perspective quite quickly on something, actually. Okay, I'm seeing those as well. And that one. I feel like I want to put these to one side and look at these first. You have the Chariot, you have the Emperor, you have the Nine of Cups, you have the Hanged Man, then you have the Magician and the Death card. Okay, how can we put these out? I've got lots more cards here. Bear with me, let me put these up here. We've got, in fact, I know what I'm going to do. Bear with me, I'm going to organise your cards so we can see them. Okay, my pile threes. What we've got here is pretty much, with the exception of the Nine of Cups, this is all Major Arcana cards in your first cards. So, I'm really seeing you. Yeah, I literally feel like you can manifest quite quickly. You can transform things, you can shape-shift things, you can rebuild things, you can construct things. There is a need to let go of perfection. You know, like if you've got a raging inner critic and you're a bit of a perfectionist, it could slow you down. I think you almost need to perhaps possibly release that. But this is looking really fruitful in April, as if things can shift and turn very, very quickly in your favour. I think if something is stuck, you'll be able to end it, transform it, shape-shift it very quickly. I think you can very much take charge of things in April and very much in your favour. Let's look at the rest of your cards here first. You have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Six of Swords. You have the Eight of Swords and the Justice card. Okay, again, I'm going to move these along a little bit. Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm shuffling everything around to squeeze everything in, which is interesting. Okay. What I do see here with the Eight of Swords and the Justice, they're both blindfolded. Why are we seeing this? Let's draw some runes as well. I want to say, don't try not to be too attached to perfectionism. If something isn't 100% perfect, it's kind of like just, rather than thinking the grass is always greener, you know, there's an element of shifting out of your perspective here. If you feel like you're trying to build something, or you feel like something hasn't materialized yet, this is almost saying stand back and don't worry. I think this is about shifting your perspective during April. I think you can shapeshift things very quickly here. And I think you can see genuine and real change. You know, we've got the rune of Nathus, which is the rune of constraint. You've got the rune of the spiritual warrior. And you have Manas, the rune of the self. Okay. I do think for some of you, this is about removing the perspectives of something that you feel is holding you back. Everything here is actually suggesting that you are in the territory in April of kind of miracles, really. And I think if you are, I mean, by all means, pay attention to the details, cross the T's, dot the I's, but don't get bogged in the detail. Try not, and even if you can't see exactly how you're going to achieve something, just trust and go with it anyway. This really is about surrender. Hand it over to the universe. I'm not saying you won't be taking action, because I'm seeing you taking actions. I'm seeing you being... But what's this a saying, isn't it? As much as we are doers, we are deciders. I believe that's the saying. Yeah, as much as we are doers, we are also deciders. This is almost like decide. Decide and trust, and then be responsive to what you're shown. You'll see what you need to let go of. You'll see what you need to invest in and move forwards. You'll see the pathway forwards. It feels unbelievably guided and protected. This is what I feel is happening for you in April, my pile 3. I think you are entering a phase in this next quarter. You are in a phase of genuine fertility. You're also being fertility, healing and protection. That's what's coming through here. You're being healed, you're being protected, your whole world and the very essence of you is being moved forwards. You may not see what the outcome is going to be, but rest assured, it's almost as though something that's right in front of you is going to blossom. So, and I think you will feel genuinely satisfied. So this is completely about surrender, trust, hand it over, decide and hand it over. And trust that you'll be shown exactly what you need to see to manifest and transform. In a nutshell, that's the energy that I'm seeing here. It feels pretty exciting. How does this then pan out? I mean, this is the energy of April. Expect a miracle. It's almost like April is testing you, my beautiful pile 3s, to see, it's like testing your levels of faith and trust in the universe, with miracles abounding that demonstrate to you that even if you can't see how to move something forwards, it's almost as though Source, Spirit, your spirit team, your angels, your guides are all working in the background on your behalf. So don't get caught in the nitty-gritty of things, or try not to over-control anything, because that's the opposite of sort of surrender and trust. Hand it over, soften, surrender. If you try to cling to the details as to how something is happening, it might slow things down, maybe, potentially. I think you'll see real progress. I think you're going to see results coming through in April, actually. And this is about being a decider. As much as you are a doer, you are a decider. This is deciding, removing blocks from within, surrendering and trusting, and then responding to what you're given. You do need to take some actions, but then responding to what you're shown. Let's see how this moves on into May. Let's put all your cards away. Oop. Move your original cards back. Oh, I feel like drawing from the runes there. Oh, you've got it. This happened in, I think it was pile 1. A token came out, and I didn't know there were any tokens inside the rune bag. They've obviously got in there by mistake, but we are going to use that. You've got nuts and bolts. I think that is amazing. Nuts and bolts coming through. You've also got protection, so you are most definitely being protected. Guarded and protected. You are also your own protector. When we act through integrity, when we act with high vibration, that in itself is protection for us. When we act with authenticity, with decency. We've got the star coming through for you. Wow. Okay. Let's draw your cards for May. So this one and this one. This. I'm going with all of these. Okay, my pile 3. Let's see what we have. You have protection and Isa. Isa is standstill. Ice. I wonder if the ice needs to thaw. You have some nuts and bolts. You also have the rune of defense, and you have the blank rune. You've got acceptance and perseverance. You have workaholic and release. These are very interesting cards. Right, I'm going to move these up to here. Okay, let's just tune in here. Surrender. You are a decider as much as a doer. You have the star. showing up first. You have the Six of Swords, the Strength card, the Emperor, showing again, the Two of Cups, Heavenly, the Eight of Cups, the Empress, and then the World. Okay. Right, so how are we following through in May? I think things really start to come together in May. I really do. It's almost as if through the acceptance of things, and it's almost like there is a shift. I want to say a shift in your consciousness in May, but I think it has an impact in the material world of your life as well, with the Empress, and also we have the World here. This is like a shift in your consciousness. It's almost as though in May you are able to embody the reality of what you learned in April, where you surrendered. You forgave, you let go, you released stuff that energetically may have held you back. You're letting go of processes where you felt you had to continue doing something even though it wasn't working for you. This is the shift I'm seeing in May. It is as though in May, having learned to surrender, to give it to the universe, you recognize that there's, I think, quite a fast. It's almost as though the universe is responding quite quickly to you. Like right at the start of your reading, I felt like, you can manifest, you can shape shift, you can move things forwards quite quickly. It's almost as though in May, you really get it, if that makes sense. I mean, you might get it already. You might be master manifestors. For most of us, humble beings, it sort of takes time and it works in layers. I think you're realizing that working at this has paid off. Being a decider as well as a doer, it's almost as though when you get still, the nuts and bolts of something get taken care of. You recognize that if you are boundaried and thoughtful and careful, that there's an infinite source of possibility that you can access. Now, we do see you moving through and beyond something, but it may be through and beyond this sort of month of, it's almost like testing out how this works. How does manifestation work? And discovering in April, through almost like trial and error and the doing of it, that it does actually work. Developing resilience. Recognizing you don't have to work all the time. You don't have to hold on to everything and try and make it work, because actually the universe will work with you actively. And for sure, there are some nuts and bolts that you'll need to attend to, but the more sort of still and present you are, the more the way will be shown to you. You'll be guided. So many major cards just keep coming through in your reading. The Star, the Strength card, Emperor, the Empress. You've got the Emperor and the Empress and the World. I think you begin to recognize that the world really is your oyster almost. I really feel your reading is very much about manifesting and understanding energy and almost like becoming an active participant in learning how to use this in a way that is proactive, but in a deciding rather than a doing way. And it doesn't mean that you don't do, because I think you do some doing. I think you do persevere, you do some doing. But it's much more than that. It's as though you honour and recognise your own energy. You release things that no longer serve you. And it's through this, and also letting go of things. You let go of things that no longer serve you. You put things down and put them behind you. You don't cling to stuff because it doesn't serve you energetically. If you're clinging to something, you recognise it doesn't serve you. It doesn't work. And this is this process. See, I think in May it starts to really consolidate. So you begin to find yourself dwelling in a space of genuine possibility. And I think certain things will actually emerge with the Emperor and the Empress. and the Two of Cups. You will genuinely start to look back in a way that you lay something to rest. You're moving through and beyond. I suspect lots of realizations, but realizations in a really positive way. And it's very healing when you suddenly recognize, especially if situations had happened before that were hard, very empowering to recognize that you're not helpless in the face of things. So this feels as though it's a consolidation, but I think in real terms, you start to step up. You become a force to be reckoned with, but not in an ego-y way, in a actively working with the universe in a way that you surrender into trust. And as you let go energetically, this is like being really mindful of your energy and of your own resonance. Now, because you are in this zone of manifesting, it's almost like a 3-month pocket of manifestation. Let's find out what happens in June. What manifests, what happens, what emerges in June. Because it's like you're starting to really get this. You're starting to know how this actually works. Okay, let's put these away and draw more for you. What happens in June? How does this emerge then for my pile 3s? Okay, I'm seeing these. This one, and it was definitely that one. How does this actually then manifest in real terms in June? Okay, your runes. You have the gateway rune. You have fertility. Ooh, that's exciting. You have harvest. Oh my goodness me. And you have the blank rune. Oh, wow. You have mysticism. You have insecurity. You have quest. This is, I think you set forth into a new period of life where it's like you can trust in the great mystery. Let me put these back up here. I keep moving them into different places, but I think we need them up here to check in on all our cards. You have the Star again. My goodness me. Wow. You have the Four of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Swords. You have the Tower. And you have the Ten of Cups. This is beautiful. Okay. This is fascinating. It's almost like in June, my beautiful pile 3s, that you reach that final phase of manifestation where you recognize that you are actually, I think you reach a point where you know you're on solid ground. And whereas, I mean, it's hard, isn't it, to hand it over, to surrender. If you feel like you've had to, there have been hiccups, how do you, if you're on, let's say you're living on a tight budget, it's really, really hard if you're on a tight budget to really invest in something or feel you can let go of something or, again, relinquish control or just surrender and trust everything's going to be fine. I think you reach a point where you're on solid ground and you genuinely know that you can release and let go of insecurities and fears about something not working or about your ability to build something or to manifest something or to heal or whether something will come back. It's like you know that something is sorted once and for all. I think you're really stepping into a place of energetically of genuine happiness and fulfillment. I think with the Tower, you know that a period of instability is over. I think instability, insecurity, you've got enough back from the universe, the harvest, the fertility. the turning point, the stepping through the gate where you reach a point, and it is, I think, a very significant turning point where you genuinely know in June that you are on solid ground. You've got enough of a harvest in there. And I think it changes your perspective. You can now sit in a place where it's like you can breathe. You're not worrying about anything. You can relax. You can trust. I actually think you've acquired enough experience, enough results in manifesting, enough healing to be really confidently on solid ground. And I think you feel pretty damn good about it. It's like it removes the danger of going down those rabbit holes in our mind when we worry about things. The Queen of Swords is incredibly clear. She's so empowered. She doesn't do any game playing in her head. She knows where she stands. I think you can genuinely start to restructure your world on the basis of a very solid foundation when you get to June. But what's really delightful is that I think insecurities, fears, clinging to the safe zone, clinging to having to be in control of everything, clinging to stuff that you would previously have worried about, letting go of the reins, all of the things that connect with the lay it on the altar, hand it over, soften, surrender. It's all of those elements that we build up in life through difficult circumstances and challenges that make it really hard just to surrender and trust. I think in June you are on very solid ground where the shape of your world is really changing. I think it's changing for the better. It's almost so you can look back, your defense mechanisms, the way I would describe this, if I put my sort of like therapy hat on, I used to talk to people when I worked full-time in my therapy practice about how, we build mechanisms to look after ourselves. And these can be thinking patterns or behaviors. And do you know what? We build a lot of extremely amazing life skills through those defense mechanisms. Like, we can become very independent and not need anybody else. But the problem is that you reach a point in life where that very same skill, that mechanism, actually stops you from being able to welcome in people to assist you. So it becomes a hindrance rather than a benefit. So the way I would describe it is we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We learn these amazing skills, these coping strategies. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but we don't want to live through that lens all of the time, because the very thing we put in place to protect us and to support us actually becomes a hindrance. It holds us back. It limits our horizons. And I actually feel that the process that you go through in this trust, surrender, forgiveness, being looked after, deciding rather than doing, seeing immediate results, shape-shifting the energy, I think it results in a profound healing whereby you let go of those mechanisms within you. Basically, they reach a point where they're past their sell-by date. And you are in full control over these. They can crumble and they're no longer needed. There's a time in our lives when we, sometimes if those systems are threatened, it can feel literally like we're breaking down. We sometimes need to almost put up, in therapy, I used to describe it as putting up scaffolding, while we are then rebuilding. I think you're at a point where you can rebuild because you're on solid ground. Hence the intricacies and industry. You can start to make real a very different future that is based on trust and faith and your capacity to manifest without those defenses blocking you. And that is what I think we see. What an extraordinary journey of evolution these 3 months have been for you, Pile 3. This is remarkable because this creates such a different foundation for living. I am absolutely in awe and blown away by the energy here. Pile 3, do come back and, as we navigate these few months, and let me know how things are happening, how things are progressing. Bookmark the page, come back and look through the different bits of the readings so that you can find, different elements of the month, see what has panned out, what's still being processed. I am really blown away. I really, really am. Beautiful souls, if this is resonating with you, do subscribe and press the little bell icon if you would like to make sure you never miss a reading here or any of the other events that I do here. And beautiful souls, thank you so much for being here. This is your reading. I think this looks to be an incredible journey of soul evolution, but it impacts in real terms. It manifests in real terms. You've got long-term happiness, fulfillment. You are rebuilding. It's like rebuilding from the rubble. And yet the whole process has been done through this spiritual connection and awareness of manifesting, awareness of connection with source, with spirit, of awareness of your energy, of your own resonance. I mean, it's mind-blowing. You really are setting forth on a very different foundation from here onwards. Pile 3, thank you so much for being here. Tons and tons and tons of love.